What's an incredibly American thing Americans don't realize is American? I used to work in a call center that took calls from Americans and Canadians. I'd ask where are you from, Canada or the US? Canadians would say Canada and American would say Texas or New York etc. Never ever would they reply with their country name. Drive-through ATMs and everything else. I didn't learn we had drive-through liquor stores until later in my life. I'm American. When I moved to Australia I was constantly asked 3 questions. 1. How do you pronounce aluminum? 2. How do you pronounce jaguar? 3. Are red Solo cups a real thing? In all the movies whenever there is a house party everyone has a red Solo cup. I was caught completely off guard by the Solo cup question. Ever since then I've been very attentive to these damn red cups. They really are everywhere. *edit, well this blew the fuck up. Keep the questions coming. This is a fun red asterisk. Might just be me, but I do notice when you ask Americans on the internet where they're from, they reply with either a state or a city instead of their country. The thing is, it doesn't cause any confusion, since most people know most American states and at least the major cities. You don't often see an Indonesian person, for example, say they're from West Java. Just that they're from Indonesia. Edit. 1. Thank you for the awards. 2. I'm not saying it's a bad thing, just an American one. I also don't think it's because of cultural variation or population. I'm Indian and I've never seen anyone say that they're from Rajasthan or Kerala on a more global level. A lot of Indian states speak different languages, have different cuisine, and live on different terrain. I think it has more to do with the fact that people broadly know American states and the distinctions between them through movies and American news and politics. Not including tax on prices displayed in stores. Ranch. I never knew ranch was just an American thing until recently. Not having to ask for the bill. Root beer. Ranch. Y'all. Prescription drug commercials. Handing your credit card to a stranger, having them walk away, swipe it, then bring it back to like they didn't just put a down payment on a new house with it. Currently on my first proper trip in the US and a few things stood out to me. Overall great place. Asterisk restaurants by default will bring everyone cups of water, sometimes with ice. Asterisk to pay the bill in the restaurant, they take my card and walk off. Then they come back with a few extra receipts and I can write down a tip and they will change the amount they charged me later. I didn't even know this was a thing that places could do. I have notifications to check the charges are correct just in case. Asterisk every toilet I've been to so far has been pretty clean with little mess. Worst one was at the airport and even that wasn't too bad. Although the very high water inside the toilet is weird, it hasn't been an issue yet. Some confusion about this, I'm mainly just talking about in restaurants/shops. Don't think I've used public restrooms at any train station. Just the airport. Asterisk streets go from dirty mess to clean and nice quickly. More homeless than I'm used to in London. Asterisk street food/stands are pretty delicious. Pretty much all food stands in NYC seem to be halal, which is nice. Asterisk larger drink cans/portions. Asterisk mixed road qualities but overall big roads and cars. Not a fan of the pedestrian crossings because I just don't fully understand the symbols yet. I think I get the symbols now. It was just the red hand with the timer throwing me off. Timer should be with the white figure. Asterisk air conditioning everywhere, which is definitely required. Asterisk speeding on the highway. Literally everyone is above the speed limit. We think we're missing something because everyone is above the speed limit. No shot would that happen in the UK, we have cameras everywhere. Edit, on mobile, so excuse shit spelling/grammar. Removed. Mixing 3 different canned foods together and calling it a casserole. How does someone politely end a conversation with a person who won't stop talking? With some people it's impossible. I worked with a guy who wouldn't stop talking, long boring stories with no point and no end. I was doing a course through distance learning at the time, so any downtime was spent studying. I politely asked him to be quiet, and explained the importance of the assignment I was working on. He agreed not to talk but then sat there humming. This lasted about 10 minutes until he couldn't bear it anymore and started yabbering on again with his incessant nonsense. In Flanders we have a word for it. Bon, and then you say something, I have work to do, it's time to go home, it's time to get drinks. And people realize the other person wants to leave without being mean. Edit, I forget to mention the short slap that goes with it to give it more weight, and yes. It's a French word. People use it probably in France, Quebec, and Wallonia too. But I never had a long conversation there. When they draw a breath, politely say. On that note, I must be on my way. Then, simply leave. If they keep talking over polite cues, I have found there really isn't a polite way to exit the conversation. I seriously need to learn how to do this. I'm too polite and like a magnet for these types who just want a warm body to talk at. Can barely get a word in edgewise, and when I do it's like they don't even hear me. Say wheelp, slap your knee and stand up to leave. As a teacher, I have learned how to interrupt people who do not leave any pauses when they are speaking, start nodding and verbally agreeing with them. Hey, you can't interrupt these people, but you can start agreeing while they speak, then raise your voice and say, yeah, wow, excuse me but I must go. My friend has Asperger's and I actually asked him about how he knows a conversation is too long, and we discussed how he can't recognize subtle social cues. So I started practicing with him. I'll literally put my hand up in a stop motion in front of him and say, can I stop you here? Or sorry, I have to stop you there, and once he pauses I say my excuse and tell him that we'll talk more later. Sorry, I have to return some videotapes. Wait. What time is it? It's X. Fuck. The proceed to robot dance away until out of view. Find a hedge and slowly disappear into it. My go-to is I don't want to cut you short but I really need to get going. Let's connect another time. And that's it. Oh my gosh, I have already taken up so much of your time, I am so sorry. I'm even running late myself. I have to go. Just start coughing these days, it'll clear a whole room in seconds. You get caught by your parents while having gay sex. What's the first thing you say? Now it's your turn to be traumatized by walking in on me. 5 more minutes, Mom. Say this isn't where I parked my car. At least I can't get pregnant. How'd that get in there? Look Ma, no hands. I'm as surprised as you. Also, I'm 46, what the fuck are you doing in my bedroom? I'm just showing my support during Pride Month. Hey Dad. Hey Dad. We're just eating hummus. It's exactly what it looks like. Nothing. It's rude to speak with your mouth full. But. I thought I buried you? Have you heard of knocking? Continue. Don't be the one who got caught having sex, make your parents the ones who were watching you have sex.